profile of the current child that we have at Hawaii Youth Correctional Facility is really a child that has come in off the streets, that has been out of school for at least a year, at least 4 to 5 years behind where he should be in terms of grade. He is not in any kind of family setting, and he has failed multiple attempts by the courts for diversion.
So unfortunately, the way that the criminal justice system approaches young people in trouble is detrimental to their well-being. There's no research showing that putting kids in a prison cell is going to create a better human. In fact, there's a lot of research showing the exact opposite. It produces criminals, it produces reoffenses, it produces recidivism, and you find them later in the adult prisons. If we talk about what it takes for anyone to heal and to restore, that's where we look to our Hawaiian cultural values and practices for the kinds of knowledge and tools that we know will be useful for their restoration, for their healing. And we really envision youth becoming healers, being healed themselves, finding that journey of healing themselves, and then also being healers in their families and in their communities. And what we want to do is replace a carceral system with these kinds of Indigenous practices that are part of this home, this place.
In our ancient society, we talk about a puʻuhonua, or a sanctuary, where people could go to get away from the issues or to help change the behaviors that they may have that everybody else has issues with. This is what we're trying to create here. And in the puʻuhonuas of old, they had what they called kauhales, or houses that specializes in certain things. Yeah. And so what we were able to do here to try to recreate the past is that every program that's on property is a specialty, is a gift, yeah? That every child can go through each one and learn. You know, everybody here is going to provide a certain perspective for a child to learn about themselves.
RISE really grew out of the need that we had here on Oahu to provide services for young people that were experiencing homelessness. There really wasn't a lot of shelter options for young people experiencing homelessness. Really the only model for them was to go to one of the adult shelters and try and pull themselves up without a lot of really good adolescent specific support for them. For us, it's really about focusing in on adolescent needs, whether it's mental health, housing, basic needs such as shelter, food, water, and really just providing a safe place, first and foremost, for young people to come off of the streets, to get a hot meal, to be surrounded by adults who are going to love and care and nurture you, and provide them that safe space that they can start to see all of the possibilities for them in their life.
Yeah, how's it? My name is Makaija Perez Fonseca. I'm 22 years old. I was kind of much like homeless throughout my life and stuff like that. My family, they couldn't really maintain the house we were staying in at the time, so we had to move out and stuff like that. So I hit up the place RISE, and they had an opening for me because they said there was like a waiting list and stuff like that. So I guess when I called, I was lucky because it was just they had an open spot already. I came to this farm as a volunteer, and then one of their caseworkers over there at RISE, they insisted if I wanted to join Kupaʻaina Corps. That's when I actually started working, like employed and stuff like that over here at this farm, Kupaʻaina. You know, this is like just out of the ordinary, you know, because I always told myself like, oh, I want to be like a carpenter or something when I grow up. It's like I never really thought I would be like working on a farm. You know, just from coming to this farm and stuff makes me like change my perspective of life. Yeah? Like what I was saying, you know, I didn't know this stuff and now I know it, and you know, just like sharing it to like friends and family and stuff like that makes me feel good because they know it now, and just from them knowing it, they can like pass it on to next generations or stuff like that. That's what makes me feel good because they get to pass on the tradition and stuff.
Kinaeha was established to raise the level of livelihood for our people here. Our culture, my Indigenous Native Hawaiian culture, was all about taking care of the land. So if you know that the land doesn't need us, but we need the land, then you'll know you'll always be dependent, and that makes you humble. That makes your ego go away for anybody that ever said they were independent. And that's where it starts.
Well, the real definition of Kinaeha is to extinguish pain. Just taking a drive here is already Kinaeha, you know what I mean? Like, just the view and everything is already extinguishing the pain. So when you come here, you come here to work, with Uncle Josiah and the boys, because he wants the best out of all of us.
Before I came to this program, my mindset was like, I didn't really care about anything. I just wanted to do whatever I wanted to do until I came over here. When I came over here, I actually got support and discipline in order for me to succeed in life.
Initially, I was waiting to come here for a long time, like 6-7 months kind. I was just thinking of ways to, get myself out of what I was doing and get on a better path. And now that I'm here, I have a job, I stay out of trouble, you know what I mean? And then now I can help provide for my mom and myself.
What I want to say about this program is it's a place where you can come to where you can tackle your problems and block out your fears and to find the courage to do what's right. And if you don't discover the right thing to do, you can be sure you're going to do something that you're not proud of. But when you do, if you come to this program, you probably will find the right thing to do. And when you do, finishing strong means following through.
All of our youth are brilliant and full of possibility. There's no such thing as a bad kid that comes out of the womb, right? These are kids that have been dealt a bad hand and maybe have made some wrong choices. We need to commit to them and release that potential in them. And so, when you think about who are our teachers, who are our business people, who are our bus drivers, who do we want our future to be? And our job here really is about helping and supporting our youth to find positive pathways. They're going to contribute to the community no matter what. So how do we make sure that their contribution is positive? That's why we're here.
This idea of bringing community together and state agency is not meant for these children to be here, but to move them forward to be successful in our communities and to take what they've learned here back to their families, back to their communities. This place is meant to change everything that's around us. Yeah. And so with that power and that mindset involved, that's what we hope to do, is to cause systemic change and cause change in our society, that there is hope.